All right, let's go. Ready?
I told you I was gonna talk to you about melons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know what that means.
all right. So we're gonna talk about melons, all right? Talking about melons, right?
Melons.
Yeah. So there's a Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it was made in the '70s. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry.
What?
It wasn't the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was Beetlejuice.
Damn it.
I like the idea of going and enjoying that, but somebody else was also enjoying themselves there.
Seen vaping, arguing with pay. What? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, bro. This is Lauren Boebert, everybody. And all I gotta say is that I agree with that man. She has a nice pair of melons. She is the Republican representative of a district in Colorado. She's one of those idiots that has gone around with guns everywhere. A big Trump supporter. Oh yeah, like her life.
Bro, that guy right next to them is smoking. He's lighting up a cig. Or am I tripping?
It could be a vape, you know. That is what they say.
It looked like he was lighting up a lighter. Yeah, he just lit up a cig, bro.
What do you think about this, Art? I want you to tell me first. Forget that she's a representative. Just think that she's a human being. Okay, let's start with that because it's very easy to get political, but she's just a human being.
I mean, can you blame her?
No, I fucking agree with that. It's like
Can you blame the guy too? Like,
I would like if I went on a date. I mean, it does depend on the venue, and some people say that there were children in this venue. Obviously, I can't really tell by the video, but I'm not. I don't even have my glasses on.
oh, there is a child. There is a kid.
Like yeah, like I've been in a movie theater, and like when it's been like just me and a girl, and maybe like 2 or 3 more people. And yeah, I've got a handsy, you know. I'm not gonna lie. So on that aspect, oh look, they fucking caught her. I think it's because they caught her. Because the worst part is that she was right in the center of that camera frame, bro. It was like somebody knew it was time to make original content for Pornhub. Now, how do you feel about the fact that it's a representative?
Yeah, that kind of. I mean, when you're at that level, when you're in that position, you gotta watch what you do. You know, you gotta be conscious of that. But I mean, you can't really blame her, dude. I mean, we all have lives. We all have our preferences and what we do.
No, I'm gonna play you a clip from Brian Tyler Cohen. Okay, no, this guy actually he started off kind of from scratch, but he talks a little bit about this. I think better than I can.
We got a special guest on tonight. His name is Thor. Say hello, Thor.
This one.
All I gotta say is I can't go out to lunch in Florida in my free time, not doing anything, just eating outside, and it's wall-to-wall Fox News coverage. And then you have a member of Congress engaging in sexually lewd acts in a public theater, and they got nothing to say. I danced to Phoenix once in college, and it was like all over the place. But putting on a whole show of their own at Beetlejuice, and there's nothing.
Okay, she wasn't putting on a whole show.
That's all I'm asking.
First of all,
I don't expect it, but come on.
It has been years that Republicans have been grandstanding about protecting children. You can't watch conservatives for 4 minutes without hearing someone complain about the groomers on the left. Joe Biden can wave hello to a child in the crowd, and you'd have half of these right-wing grifters claiming that he's a pervert. And yet, when a Republican congresswoman engages in an openly lewd sexual act in a crowded theater during a family-friendly musical, it is silence from these defenders of young people, just crickets from these guardians of our youth. I guess kids don't need protecting when the offenders have a little R next to their name. In fact, Lauren Boebert herself had taken to Twitter in November of 2021 and tweeted, "Seems Joe Biden understands basic economics as well as he understands appropriate behavior around kids." Tell me again, what part of this is appropriate behavior in a theater filled with, you guessed it, kids? And when given the opportunity to apologize, this is what she said.
Ultimately, all future date nights have been canceled, and I learned to check party affiliations before you go on a date. But all in all, you know, it was mostly a lovely time.
Of course it was.
Because, of course, the fact that she was caught performing lewd sexual acts in a theater is the fault of, you guessed it, the Democrats. Because party of personal responsibility or something.
The reason it's true is because, like, look, remember when the AOC video for dancing? Because that was AOC at the beginning. And this is why I understand why AOC has something to say.
Yeah, she's bad though, dude.
Bad as a lie.
Like, she's a baddie.
Fuck yeah, bro.
All right, this morning, a lot of folks talking about this leaked video of new U.S. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's the youngest member to ever serve in the House. This video of her dancing was back in college and shared on social media originally as an attempt to sort of discredit her.
Okay, bro. That's like if I go into the FBI later and they fucking dig up this old footage of me. So it's just her doing dancing. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but that's exactly what the Republicans did. Like, they attacked her that she was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, she a hoe. She's serving. And it's like, and it's basically an aspect of, I agree.
They're just stirring up drama, bro.
Well,
For the media.
it's true, but isn't that what, like, they all do?
Yeah.
But the reality is, who's to blame? The media for covering it, or
The
Lauren
media.
Boebert for not having personal responsibility? Because she didn't stumble upon a position of leadership and power. She chose to be in that spot.
Yeah.
And it's like this, right? I'm gonna put a preacher because it really narrows it down when we talk about preachers, right? Mm-hmm. He and his wife are driving around inside a park by a park, and they start doing, like, you know, having a little bit of fun time in the back seat. And it's 10 p.m. and there's a few kids that go to the park, and then a police officer pulls up, notices that this car is moving, and finds a preacher in there doing stuff.
With who?
With his wife. But still, yeah, like, we don't judge the person necessarily for the act.
We judge them based off.
But now, can we argue with people who say, well, this guy knowing you went to a park and decided to get horny over there knowing there were children?
Yeah, you can't judge them for that, dude.
Well, yes, you can. The law judges you, right?
Yeah, exactly. But look, check it out. Who are the people judging? Exactly, right?
No, I mean,
So-
talk to Mike.
Who are the people judging? Let me ask you
So,
that. It's all these nobodies, bro. These wannabes. And if you really look at it, these people behind curtains, they're probably doing the same shit. They've done that, but they want to bring this up and stir up drama in other people's lives for the attention, and then the media does it to target these people target them.
have you ever been have you ever seen a cattle herd? Like a herd of cattle? Okay. Now, if you were to shoot one of those, right? Let's say you own the cattle, and you shoot one of those, would it matter? Would it really matter?
I mean, now you got whole cattle.
Yeah, you have a whole herd. I mean, yeah, technically there's going to be a dip in the amount of, but overall, like, why do I say this? I say this because what happens if you kill one of the cattle, and then all the cattle, they start to fear you. Mm-hmm. And now every time you go and try to get to them, they just run away. Obviously, you can fence them, put in the work, etc. So it really doesn't matter. But now you're investing more resources to control the same herd. Humans are a herd. And while the nobodies will criticize those in power or positions of leadership, those that are in power positions of leadership, they are the ones that are responsible for a lot of the decisions that are made by those that have the power, which is ultimately the executive branch, right? The authorities. But who gives them the laws? Well, representatives, right? In the case of preachers, they are important because they still motivate and move entire congregations. If one regular individual says, this is bad, and everybody starts believing it, it doesn't matter what laws are in place or not, the whole herd is going to act accordingly.
That is true.
So that's my take on it. But obviously, I don't really give a fuck if she was having fun. I just do criticize the fact that, hey, you're in a position of leadership.
Yeah.
And this is something that you would definitely criticize a Democrat for. But you are the Bible-loving, gun-toting Christian congresswoman. I really don't care if you have premarital sex, but just...
You gotta lead by example, man.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. I mean, if you're in a position where you have this authority to influence government decisions, you need to lead by example.
She barely won her re-election. So her popularity has diminished. So it's a question of whether her theatrics are going to cost her re-election. Right? Because at the end of the day, we all love a good drama, but we also want shit to be paid. We also want everything to be working and in order. We don't want to be dealing with a military that's not getting paid, which reminds me, have you heard about the government shutting down?
What do you mean? What do you mean shutting down?
Yeah, bro.
What, COVID coming back or what?
No. So what happens is that
2023, dude. What the fuck what are you talking about? Crisis mode?
Oh yeah. Look, I'll let you read it.
Because of the economy.
Yeah, I'll let you read into it. But read it for the camera.
Okay. Congress is rushing headlong into crisis mode Tuesday with the government shutdown days away as Speaker Kevin McCarthy faces an insurgency from hard-right Republicans eager to slash spending even if it means hitting pay for the military and curtailing federal services for millions of Americans. There's no clear path ahead as lawmakers return with tensions high and options limited. The House is expected to launch an evening vote on a package of bills to fund parts of the government, but it's not at all clear that McCarthy has the support needed as holdouts demand steeper spending cuts. It's easy, McCarthy quipped Tuesday when asked about keeping the government open. But with just 5 days to go before Saturday's deadline, McCarthy is reviving his plan for a stopgap measure to prevent a federal shutdown that was already rejected outright by a handful of hard-right Republicans who say they will never vote for it, denying him a majority.
Yeah, so the thing with that, basically, right, is that the government, how does the government actually pay for everything? Well, it gets the money from the
Banks.
No. So what happens is the government basically tells Congress, in this case, the House of Representatives, hey y'all, we need this amount of money, $2 trillion for this year's budget. This is what we expect to use. Everybody, wants things, etc. And then what happens is the House of Representatives looks at it, says, we don't like this, or yeah, we're okay with this, etc. Obviously, that's where you have Lauren Boebert, AOC, Pelosi, they're all in the House of Representatives. So what they do is that they get to vote on whether the U.S. Treasury, which I guess you could say it's the U.S. bank, but the U.S. Treasury, whether it's going to provide that money to the government, right? So the U.S. government can't just use money indefinitely. It needs to get that authorization within one branch of that government, which is the legislative branch. And within that, it's not the Senate that takes care about the money, it's the House of Representatives. And why? Because the House of Representatives is the only house that has the power of tax. So when you get taxed by the federal government, the ones that allowed that was the House of Representatives. And the reason it was done like this was because representatives only serve for 2-year terms. And the ability for you to become a representative is so much easier compared to becoming a senator or, of course, a president. For example, Texas only has 2 senators, every state has 2 senators, but we have like 20-some representatives, I think. Maybe 30, I'm not sure. But we have a whole bunch of representatives because that's based on the population. So here in the Valley, we got a representative.
Who's a representative?
I don't know, bro. I seen it because I voted for the dude, but just, I think it's District 8 or District 11 in Texas. And this means that ultimately the power of the American money or the taxation system is in the hands of the House that allows the most amount of regular people to vote, you know?
Houston, Texas.
So, okay, that's Houston. The 8th district is in Houston, and we're the 11th district, I think.
I don't think that's real. What are we, District 12?
No, let's see, camera, RGB. Oh, so that's a Texas House of Representatives, so that's probably part of the problem because we need to look into that. Yes.
Where the fuck's these?
Here we go. So Vicente Gonzalez is the one who represents the 34th district of Texas. What district is that? Fuck, I don't know. This is a big problem, not knowing, but okay.
There it is.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
So he is a representative, Vicente Gonzalez, and he is, I believe, a Democrat. Let's see here. For South Texas, okay. He got his GED in 1985. Worked in finance, went to Texas A&M, I guess. So, this is the guy that basically gets to vote in the same building, in the same room as Lauren Boebert and AOC and Pelosi on the tax cuts. Not the tax cuts, but the raising taxes. But they also get to vote about the budget of the US government, which means that right now, that House of Representatives has not been able to make a vote they haven't been able to pass enough votes to pass the budget. And the reason is because Kevin McCarthy is basically holding out. He wants it to be his way, but his way is so unpopular that not even the majority of Republicans are completely supporting him. So what that's doing is that the Democrats are against Kevin McCarthy, but you still have some Republicans that are also against him. I don't know the details. I think it would be too complex for us right now to get into it. But basically, it could include about whether money's going to Ukraine. It could be because they don't like Biden's build infrastructure plan. But it is a political war, and the risk here is that once the government shuts down, the government is still operating, just nobody's getting paid. All those soldiers over there, fuck that. The veterans that they're depending on the paycheck, fuck that. I'm thinking it goes off to veterans that also get checks too. They're not getting paid because all of these jobs are government jobs, so they're not necessarily
any federal job
outsourced. Any federal job, they're not getting paid.
Even federal agents? Like
Federal FBI,
BP, Customs? Yeah. Is this whole shutdown, like, is it under consideration or is it like...
Well, it's a big news in Washington right now. Like.
So they're debating on whether it's a shutdown?
They're debating on whether to get rid of Kevin McCarthy or whether he's gonna convince, because basically this is what happened. He made a deal with the Democrats and he made a deal with the Republicans. But now what's happening is that he's not really keeping his deal. Most of the deals that he's breaking is with the Democrats, but even the people in his own party is like, bro, like, you don't just like make fake deals,
Yeah.
right? Like this is gonna hurt us later. And that's why he doesn't have the complete support of his own party either.
Yeah. Jake is fairly new to the gym, but don't be deceived by the looks.
Well,
this
he
man he's got the sleeper build, let me tell you that. This man is shredded, he's got some mass on him.
I thought you were saying that because I like to sleep.
No, not at all.
But I do like to sleep though.
Oh yeah, everyone likes to sleep.
No, but I like to sleep more like...
Speaking of sleep, sleep is a key component in growth.
That is true. I was watching this clip, right, of somebody talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they were talking about how back in the day, in the Gold's Gym today, Arnold was working out at the gym all the time. So this guy, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna work out hard. And he was doing it for a while. He was like, why am I not gaining the fucking gains, right? This is pre-internet era, of course. Basically, you want to work out 3-4 days out of the week very hard and rest the other days because you need to let your body recuperate that.
Yeah, I mean, you could, what I do is...
No, not that video, please.
Have you seen this video?
I don't need to know.
Have you seen this video?
Yes, I've seen it. You've already shown it to me. I don't need to hear
Let's
that.
let the audience look at this, because if you haven't seen this video, it's an iconic clip of Arnold. And
I'm the editor, so I'll be able to take out this video.
Yeah. This is by far, like, this man is a character, dude, and he explains what the pump is like in real life. And I mean, he might feel it differently because he was literally, that was his life, the gym, the pump. But for a lot of us, chasing the pump, it gives us a lot of pleasure, and to the point where this man received more pleasure from getting the pump than he did with a woman. And I mean, which is kind of crazy. I mean,
okay, look, I'm sorry. That is like, no, working out is not as enjoyable as sex.
maybe not for you. Maybe not for you, but hey, I'm telling you right now, I fucking love the pump. Maybe not as much as coming.
Arnold?
Or, maybe not as much as Arnold, but it's pretty damn close.
Bro,
Because once you get that fucking juicy ass pump, Jake, and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're just like, fuck.
no,
dude,
I'm vain. I'm absolutely vain. I love looking at myself in the mirror, especially after a pump. But the fact that I am self-absorbed is one thing. At the end of the day, I simply cannot concede that the pump is more enjoyable than being intimate with a girl.
Okay, and
Okay.
that's perfectly fair. I
Right.
mean, maybe one day, if you consistently go to the gym every day.
But you gotta remember,
follow-
Arnold Schwarzenegger was also the guy that cheated on his model wife with a maid that looked like your average grandma.
That is very true.
Yeah, like, and
But, hey.
honestly, I'm not. Here's the thing that makes me wonder: what kind of attitude did the wife have, and what kind of like attitude did the maid have?
I mean, we'll never know the situation. We'll never know what led to that or what was happening behind the curtains.
But considering that the son that she raised for him, Joseph, I think Joseph Baena is his last name, because she was like Guatemalan or Honduran or something like that. He hasn't really gotten in trouble. It's like they or she raised him right.
Yeah.
You know? But I can't really talk shit about.
I mean, sometimes you could be raised wrong, but it really comes down to your personal integrity and morals, because there's a lot of people, I know a lot of people personally, who grew up in a very shitty situation, and they will, in most cases, don't have anyone to look up to, like no parents. I mean, let's say they're with their grandparents or whatever, but they're basically not even being raised by them. They're just alone most of the time. They have other influences in their life, but I mean, sometimes they come out very respectful, very well-mannered, good integrity, good morals, because of who they are and what they experienced. Maybe sometimes you can't be led by example, you have to be led by what not to do sometimes, or what being exposed to the wrong can show you what is right. because you know what is wrong.
I have heard of a
You know
lot
what I
of people who have said like, "Hey, you know what, like I had an alcoholic father and that's why I'm not a drinker anymore."
Exactly.
But the reality of that is like, right, um, it may improve upon one issue, but does it improve upon all the issues? And the reason I say that is because in the case of like let's say, oh, you're not an alcoholic, right, or a substance abuser because of your father, but maybe you still need therapy because you have a lot of anger issues because you weren't raised right.
Yeah, it's
And if you're not seeking that help, now you're affecting your wife, your girlfriend, right? Maybe your siblings or your kids.
yeah. I mean, you're not gonna be perfect.
Well, no, but it's where I'm arguing that I feel there is more negatives by not having the proper parenting.
Maybe.
And some remarkable people overcome that on their own, or seemingly on their own. But I don't think that's the norm. I don't think we should
No, you
expect
should,
people to overcome it on their own.
yeah. If you're gonna have a kid, you need to be prepared to raise that kid the right way.
I've been thinking I don't want to have kids.
You don't?
I don't.
You don't want to have kids?
I don't think I'm gonna be a good dad.
Like ever?
No, never.
Really?
Yeah. Like my brother, he was the first one to say that, and I didn't realize it. But as I get older, it's
But he
like
said that about you?
about himself.
Oh.
But as I get older, it's like if I had a kid, I would love the kid. Like there's no doubt about that. But it is an option, and I want to enjoy life rather than focusing on extending my lineage. And children do take away a lot your ability to enjoy life as it is. But they give you another experience. But it's an experience that I'm not craving for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard some cases where they're in that similar boat, and then they have the kid, and their whole perspective changes. Now their whole, I mean,
But it depends on what kid you have. Because if you have a kid that's like,
I thought you were gonna say like, oh, it depends if you get a boy or girl. Like,
oh no. If you're that type of parent, then yes, I guess it does. But like, no, I mean like, if you get like a calm, nice child, like my sister's oldest child, my nephew, he's, especially for being a boy, he's just very calm, very nice, well mannered, even when he was little.
that's what I'm scared of, dude. Because I know I was a terrible fucking feral child when I was growing up. So if I have kids, I know I'm gonna get that karma.
And I know I definitely had ADHD as a kid.
Dude,
Yeah. They were telling my mom to take me to a doctor, she refused. So it's like,
And hopefully not. I mean, hopefully my kid's good, but I'm prepared for that.
like you have a D1 athlete, but like the mom's like Lizzo. Like it just cancels out the skinniness with the overweight, and then like you get a D1
You're just doing
athlete.
your kid dirty after that, dude.
I don't know, bro. Like, have you seen like
What if like the D1 genes are there, and then you get like those Lizzo genes? Just a tank, bro.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like it cancels out the negatives.
Yeah.
And you have a D1 athlete.
You have a fucking
Because
D1.
have you seen Bruce Willis' daughters? Now here's the thing. Demi Moore might got hot, but her daughters, all due respect, just not my type. And they have so much of the features of their dad, Bruce Willis, which on his own, I think he was a handsome man, okay? I guess he still is a handsome older man. But
Good.
the daughters, I'm gay for Bruce Willis. You heard it first here on Off Topic, everybody. Woo! But
Have you ever had like a girlfriend and they like look like their dad or like something along those lines?
close.
I've had an ex who looked just like her mom, and it kind of made me like her mom a lot.
But when they look
I
like
don't
the
know.
mom, it's okay. When they look like the dad, but like, I'm not saying, I'm like, oh, you got eyes like your dad. No, I was like, you got the jaw like your dad. There was this, I had many failed attempts at creative projects in San Antonio. And up there was once this kid who considered himself a producer. He was trying to do what he could for his friend and their band, and I give them props for that effort. But his name was Charlie. And
Charlie, if you're listening.
I remember Charlie because when I first saw a picture of his sister, I had a hots for his sister.
Oh shit, Charlie, you hear that shit?
And for the record, I've never met his sister. I've had like this whole like semi, like kind of like acquaintance relationship with his sister, but like I've never met her.
But you know, how does that work?
So she knew that her brother was working with me, and obviously I knew about her because Facebook. And then the news came out. I admitted to Charlie, hey, I think your sister's cute. I was just doing way too much at that time. And one time Charlie's like, hey, can I buy some weed from you? And well, I had.
She said that?
No, Charlie.
Oh.
And I later found out that his sister was the one driving because she's the one that wanted the weed, right? I thought it was probably his girlfriend or something. I was like, damn, boy stepping it up. But no, it's his sister. But, and then like about a week or two later, I'm off to Colorado. So I had barely started like messaging her. I got her number. We started talking over the phone. I did actually invite her to like move up there a couple of times. Like eventually, I was just like, look, this is the thing. As a single guy, you'll realize that while it is nice to have female friends, ultimately, if they're not providing a value, like when she had issues with her relationship, I would answer. But when I had issues with mine, she wasn't really there for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what I've been saying, bro. Relationships they don't work out unless they're mutually beneficial. Being friends with females, like the other sex, and that's a topic I want to get into after this.
Okay, yeah. So the thing is that, like I said, she was dating this guy. He had a similar upbringing to me. She started dating him after I left to Colorado. So it wasn't like, we talked a bit, but she never went to Colorado. But then like a year later, she's dating this guy. We talked about it, and we threw back and forth. But when she really needed the help, I answered the phone. I would be there, try to assist. And then like, especially when my mom was getting worse, you know, I was gonna stop by San Antonio, and I invited her for like, just like a quick drink or something. I just wanted to hang out with somebody and have my mood up.
Yeah.
Before I had to take my bus down to Brownsville, and you know, she didn't really answer. And at that point, there was a lot of times I had already tried to like, I needed that sister, I guess I could say.
You just needed
that female perspective.
Someone to lean on, bro. And that female perspective really does help.
And the truth is that I've noticed that it was way easier for me to be the shoulder to lean on, but when I needed that shoulder, the girls weren't there.
Yes.
And that's why it's like, well, if I'm being useful to you, that's my time that I could, I don't know, be doing a podcast or like hanging out with my family. So why am I going to help you if I'm not getting that help back? So for me, sex is always going to be the reason why I'm first going to be interested in you if you're semi-attractive. But show me in conversation that, you know what, a lot of girls do this. We can talk to them and we forget about the sex because we're having a good conversation with them.
That's very true.
Bring that conversation in when I'm feeling down. You know, nobody really was there for me when my mom died. And it's one of those things that's like, well, how does life feel now that I don't have a lot of female friends versus when I had a lot? I feel more free because my phone's not blowing up with their drama. But the negative of it is that sometimes I do feel that I could get insight that I don't get otherwise. Like us boys were very straightforward in our thinking so many times.
100%. And my take on that is, so I think having female friends or just friends of the opposite sex, vice versa for a female, is very beneficial for a couple reasons, but I think the main one is once you have a best like girlfriend, you start to see like the flaws of females, right? Start to see they're just like us. They're stupid sometimes. They're funny, but they're dumb. And you start to see they have faults. So you start to realize that it makes it easier to go up to females and talk to other females and have actual relationships with them, because now they're not so much on a pedestal, because you have experienced conversations with females, and I mean, they give you that female perspective, and they're able to give you little insights on what works and what doesn't, and like little icks and stuff like that. And I'm saying this because I had a best friend in high school. She helped me pull girls, and I helped her pull guys, and it was never like awkward between us. It was never like, she was attractive, and I mean, yeah, I found her attractive, but it was never, I never got to the point where I wanted to get with her, because I sincerely her as a friend, and the amount of respect that I had towards her, it was never going to cross that line, that sexual boundary. I mean, obviously I found her attractive, but I'm not going to jeopardize our relationship just because I'm going to try to make a move, you know? Her friend, though, her friend. I was trying to get on that. But yeah, no, bottom line is, I mean, I think it's really good for us to have friends with opposite sex.
It's very good, but we have to be realistic. It's like, take away the beauty, take away the sexual aspect of that woman. Are you truly getting a value out of spending your time with her? Because if you cannot bring an answer, then that's not spending, that's wasting your time.
Well, in my case, it was definitely mutually beneficial.
Yeah, and also, like, talking about middle school and even high school, I mean, come on, like, everybody's really just learning so much. So, like, it's so much easier to, like, and you should have all the female friends that you can have as a healthy social person, I guess, right? So that is a thing too. It's like, you need that female insight, especially when you're growing up, more than anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, bad habits become ingrained in you because you're only seeing things from the male perspective. I heard that Jay watches a lot of, like, or used to watch a lot of, like, Fresh and Fit. And that's where I'm like, you can pick up some truth from Fresh and Fit, but considering that he's younger, and like,
yeah, that'll influence the minds of the younger generation completely, bro. Because if that's the only information they're taking in from a very narrow perspective, like they're very extreme.
yeah, like Fresh and Fit is more toxic because how you portray things, even if they're facts. You spend time telling a kid, hey, you know what? Cops are corrupt, cops are corrupt, cops are corrupt.
They're going to start to believe that.
Yeah. Are cops corrupt? There are corrupt cops. This is
But
something
not
that...
all of them.
But yeah, not all of them. I mean, you want the kid to at least be able to understand that, hey, if you see a cop, the first thing you gotta think is, I'm gonna behave, or that's somebody that can help me. As they get older, I do believe in teaching them about corrupt cops, but generally a corrupt cop is not trying to harm like a 10-year-old, right?
Yeah.
They're probably gonna fuck over like a 21-year-old, but not a 10-year-old. And that's the thing. You can tell a kid that, oh, women are interested in a man that has money and finances and all that kind of stuff, and hypergamy, and it's true, it happens. But that's not everybody. For better or worse, there's some girls that really just want to have their coochie rubbed by a guy that's only going to love them and nobody else. Like, everybody's different. And it's more important to teach your ability to distinguish than to simply talk about a bad segment of the population and make that as your talking point 24/7. Minors, I believe, need to be aware of that kind of content.
Yeah, I think we all just need to be more open-minded and not believe everything you hear or not believe everything you see. Have a mind of your own, dude. Don't be easily programmed. You got to think for your own, you know? You can't fall into the trap of following the herd. You're going to believe what everyone else believes? No, think for yourself. Believe what you truly believe is right.
But if you don't want to make a fool of yourself, actually have a good understanding of what you are preaching or
That is very true.
whatever you're defending.
Yeah, you can't just be like, I'm not gonna follow the herd just because I want to be different. No, actually do the research, understand what you're believing in, what you're investing your time and your beliefs in. You know,
Yeah,
that's what he's saying.
it's like if the herd is going towards the lake because they want to drink water. I mean, that's not wrong, but you don't have to go to the lake. But if you're thirsty and you walk the opposite direction because you don't want to be part of the herd, it's your right. But is there another source of water in the direction that you're going? And is it closer than the lake? Because then,
or what if it's
that
pure?
makes sense.
You know,
But
what if that lake water is just poison?
Exactly.
No?
And you know what better water source? Bingo. But what if the opposite direction of the lake is just a fucking desert? But you have faith that your way is better because it's different.
With no
education, no understanding of what you're even talking about.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the gym. Low key kind of getting hard. Thinking about this chest pump that I'm about to get later. Alright, let's play this. Let's see.
The greatest feeling you can get in a gym, or the most satisfying feeling you can get in a gym, is the pump. Let's say you train your biceps. Blood is rushing into your muscles, and that's what we call the pump. Your muscles get a really tight feeling, like your skin is going to explode any minute. You know, it's really tight. It's like somebody blowing air into your muscle. It just blows up, and it feels different. It feels fantastic.
Why does it sound like an erotic porno?
It's as satisfying to me as coming is, you know, as having sex with a woman and coming. So can you believe how much I am in heaven? I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people. I get the same feeling. So I'm coming day and night. I mean, it's terrific, right? So, you know, I'm in heaven.
Oh my god, dude.
Bro,
Dude, that's... I can relate, bro.
I want to hear you say that shit at the gym.
Matter of fact, I'm coming right now.
I would take my phone and record you.
Oh, dude.
Can you tell me how
Honestly,
you
though,
feel?
like, the fucking pump, bro. The pump. It's just something different, dude.
Bro, I'm gonna die. And I'm gonna go to heaven where I never have to go to a fucking gym. And I can do the real pump.
Or what if heaven is the gym? What if we all die and go to the gym?
Bro, I think that's a good note. What do you think heaven is? Right, because you believe in heaven.
I believe heaven is a place of peace, and whatever you find peace in, I think that'll be your heaven. Let's say, for example, let's say someone loves the beach, and that's where they feel the most peace. That's where they're gonna spend time in heaven. And let's say we get tired of that beach, where else do you find peace in? Maybe in your backyard with your family, with your dog, with your old dog who you grew up with. Maybe it takes you back there, and you relive those peaceful moments. Yeah.
Well,
And obviously, I mean, if you're in heaven, you're gonna be reunited with your loved ones and see God, the Creator. And I don't know if you see God, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't believe in heaven or hell, but I think that...
You don't believe in hell either? Do you believe in the devil? Do you believe in evil?
No.
You don't believe in evil?
The concept of evil, yes, but not the personification of it as in like a being.
Okay, but with evil, there has to be good, right?
Yes, and humans are a very good example of it. We kill animals and we save them too. That's a very good example.
Yeah, but...
And it's all, like, we excuse the murder of animals because we need to eat. but we also excuse the saving of animals because it makes us feel good. Everything is tied to a selfish need or want. It's just a mixture of a spectrum, and if heaven is real, and no, I'm just gonna say it like this, heaven is not real.
What?
Yeah. But if heaven is real, we're not, based on the Judeo-Christian belief, it's kind of impossible to really comprehend how it would be. You know, and I like to think that really the experiences that we've heard of is just the human psyche putting answers into dying minds. But I do believe there could be a spiritual world or dimension where something like our spiritual self can reside, or consciousness. But it's nothing by which I'm going to, on a daily, have a precise description for, because that's kind of what it is, a metaphysical dimension that I believe. But beyond that, I cannot imagine anything like the actual heaven.
If you want to get like scientific about it, wouldn't like heaven be on a different plane, like in a different dimension?
That could be a scientific answer.
Yeah, that'd be like the most logical answer.
Well, because like this is hypothesis.
Because this is hypothesis, right? Or
but that only serves to confirm a personal belief, like a religion. It doesn't serve to convert someone to the religion. I have no need for that answer. And the fact that there could be a metaphysical dimension, once again, does not prove or confirm that there is a heaven. That's like saying...
That's where faith comes in.
That's like saying, does Jake have a brother? Well, first of all, you could say that guy over there, there's a guy in Houston, that could be Jake's brother. Well, lucky for you, yes, I have a brother in Houston. But if my brother wasn't in Houston, right, the fact that there's a lot of men over there doesn't mean that my brother's there. And that's the thing, is the fact that there's a lot of metaphysical dimensions does not mean that any of them are heaven.
Well, yeah, but I'm just...
So
that brings up the point where, I mean...
That's why I say that a hypothesis only serves for those that already believe heaven must exist. For me, it's in the air, like, whatever exists, but until we prove it, I mean, I don't know, and I'm not going to do
But that's the ultimate, like, test. You're not supposed to believe it. I mean, you're not supposed to see it to believe it.
But the only reason that this is a test of any sort is because that's how we've been indoctrinated since we were children.
Yeah, but if you really think about it, look, like, you don't see gravity, but you believe in it, right?
Well, but you can put it to a test. You can't put to a test heaven.
You can, okay, but...
That goes back to my point.
But the test, okay, let's say this. The test is when you die, your physical body stays here in the physical realm. Where does your conscience go?
Like
That's
I said,
what we're saying. It could go to a different plane.
Like I
It
said,
could go to a different dimension.
First of all,
But it doesn't...
if
I get where you come from. It doesn't confirm your conscience goes to heaven. It just goes somewhere.
It'd be kind of cool to see where.
Yeah, but I mean that you can't. So that's the ultimate taste of faith. You just got it,
right?
You can't see it. You got to believe it.
It's in the toss if we're gonna run into Zeus or Jupiter or Jesus or Muhammad.
Okay.
It's in the toss because, or nothing.
Yeah, I mean you could die and nothing. You're just dead.
So if in the realm of all knowledge, right? If one day we were to know everything. It turns out that people that went to heaven did go to a realm where there was a being that was godly and it was heaven. Possible, yeah. But we're not at the level of being able to test that. I hope we do. I mean, I think about how humans have evolved. I do believe in evolution. If you don't, okay, but the fact that...
Well, evolution is real to an extent. You evolve. We evolve every day. Like, let's say yesterday you got stung by a bee because you went and smacked a fucking beehive. Next day you're gonna evolve. You're gonna adapt that new lesson of not
There are changes in our genetic makeup. A good one is aging, but another one is just showing how yes, certain traits, not all, but certain traits that are picked up do tend to pass to the children, and sometimes they stay on the lineage for millions of years. But look, once we started walking or whatever, look how we invented all these fucking tools. Look what we're fucking doing.
We're evolving.
So fucking easy.
We're evolving as a society.
Not just as a society, but like
I know, but that plays a part. I mean, we're evolving every day. Everything's evolving.
Yeah.
These trees are evolving. They're evolving in the next stage of their life, which takes fucking forever, but they evolve at a much slower pace. Everything evolves.
But evolving into something new, and that's why I say it, because at least our technology or understanding, hopefully, science has evolved into something new for humanity, right? As in, like, it brought about answers where, like, 1,000 years we did not have science. But there was science all around us, but we didn't have it as a study. And now we do, and it's given us so many things. Imagine later, imagine 1,000 years. Imagine being able to actually transcend the physical into the metaphysical with technology and tools that we developed. That's where I'm going. So I'm excited just to know that our knowledge has increased so much and it could increase so much more.
Where do you see the world in 100 years?
I think what excites me is where I do not see it go.
Considering what we have to this day, and then considering what they had at that time of day, where do you see we go in 100 years now that we have this much technology? Because if you really think about it, when they were around, technology was barely coming up.
And that's
so it grew at a very exponential rate. And especially now, since we've experienced, we have more resources and stuff, we're evolving at a higher exponential rate. So in 100 years, the progress we make is going to be much more significant than we did 100 years ago.
My bet is that humanity is going to continue to develop technology that focuses more on the comfort and the sustainability of lives. Education will play a key part because I believe that lowering the birth rate is going to be part of what is going to be asked from modern societies. But the benefit of this is that a lot of the technology that will be generated will be designed to help people have more comfortable lives. So a good example is imagine being able to never have to leave your house and you can have almost everything. It sounds negative, but I mean, look how quickly we ate up social media. Like, it's not that humans, like, the reason humans have the drug called social media is because the drug literally affects our brain with dopamine. We basically found a way to concentrate what people would do in town halls.
That's very true.
Yeah, we found a way to concentrate what people would do in town halls before. And we're just going to continue concentrating education, services, and everything from a more self-sustainable way that is comfortable to the end user. Why? Because that's going to encourage the end user to spend the money on these items. And this is why companies will continue to develop technologies. I mean, just look at something simple. Look at how common vibrators are. It provides a comfort to females, and in some cases males. And yes, but I mean, it is what it is. The money's there. Yeah. Look at drugs. Money's there. Look at the $1,000 iPhones.
Money's there.
Oh. And wherever the money goes, that's mostly where technology is going to continue to evolve. So I can easily see things like Ready Player One becoming a reality within the next 50 years.
Ready what?
Ready Player One.
What exactly is that?
So for those of you who do not know, Ready Player One is a book, later a movie, that basically details the story of a near future scenario where a young kid wins a contest, but the internet is not necessarily access through your phone or through your computer as much as it's access through virtual reality lenses. And through these, you're able to access the world through your avatar. But this also means that, like, your credit system is very much tied to that big online game that is the future internet. You want to go out dancing on a night, you put on the goggles and you go meet that avatar. You don't really meet the person.
Yeah, that'll definitely. I mean, we already have VR.
And this is what I'm gonna put here, right? That fat guy that's a programmer that probably can't pick a girl in real life. What's gonna stop him from being able to get on this virtual world? They did this hot babe who, whether it's a real guy or girl behind it, they're doing that service as an avatar because they want to make money, right? And now you have this guy who has the money, but not the social skill, getting what he wants, a fulfillment.
Bro, aren't they already doing that in like China? Like, don't they have this like? I may be wrong, but I heard something along the lines of like.
I'm not talking
Chinese.
about love robots, right? I'm talking about everything in the virtual
No, I don't think it
world.
was a robot. I think it was like I don't have enough knowledge to speak on that.
Me neither. Whatever the Chinese are doing, it's probably going to be based on American technology. So it's whatever they do, it's going to be like a copycat of what we do. So yeah, in the future, I basically just believe that things are going to be more focused on virtual reality and commerce like that. Eventually, we will develop interstellar planetary travel, but until we have a good understanding of nearby planets to be able to convert them into habitable zones, I don't see then interest for people to necessarily move. There will be movements, yes, but I don't expect to see a city of 1 million people on Mars anytime in the next 1,000 years unless we develop the ability to use Mars to like get resources out of it that can be self-sustaining.
Have you seen the project they're starting to work on? And I forget where, but somewhere in the eastern.
The line.
The line.
That's what you're talking
the
about.
line. Yes.
Yes, I think it's a very bad idea. I was watching another video about how like.
Bro.
So essentially, what you have is, for those of you that don't know, the line is a city that's trying to be built, I believe, in Saudi Arabia.
I believe so. Yeah.
Basically, the prince, whatever, that's his big project. Ambitious, but it's supposed to have mirrored walls on both sides. It's supposed to be skyscraper tall and just a straight line going through. And I'm thinking, whenever the wind comes, right, it's just gonna be fighting that wind. Like, and how do you get water to sustain 2-3 million people living in that line in the future? If you have good desalination technology, maybe. But as of right now, I don't think, as ambitious as it is, I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime.
Bro, imagine how fucking far you'd have to walk, or.
Well, the idea is that there's going to be like rail, like underneath high velocity. You wouldn't have to walk. You'd be able to just like go from one end to the other, like probably within an hour or two.
But yeah, that's crazy, bro.
But if it does get accomplished, it's going to be on the backs of a lot of almost slave work, because that's what they're known for.
Do they still have?
That's how they built like Dubai. They kind of basically take people's passports away and make them work. Like, people from other countries.
Damn.
So that's part of why I'm not excited about the project, but we'll see what happens. Well, look, I think we're going to have to wrap it up.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in on the
Yeah.
OffTopic podcast. Really appreciate every one of you who tune in and listen. And just if you guys have any comments or anything you want us to talk about, let us know. It's always a good time, but we appreciate every one of you.
Thank you, guys.
See you on the next one.